There's an organization in New York City called More Gardens. They have planted 310 illegal gardens. And, sort of like little garden squats. And there's the songs about one in particular in the South Bronx. And my friend Brad Will was one of the founders of More Gardens, and he was also on the ground floor of a lot of other things, indie media and critical mass bike rides and food not bombs. And he was out in California squatting redwood trees in the early 90s, and he went out to New York to squat buildings in the mid-90s. For the past 10 years, much of the time, he was traveling around the world and getting involved with different struggles and spending a lot of time in Latin America. And he was in Oaxaca, Mexico, covering the People's Uprising in Oaxaca in 2006 when he was shot by the Mexican paramilitaries with a camera in his hand and shot in the chest and killed. And he filmed his own death. And we had a memorial for him a few days later, and it just so happened by freak coincidence I was touring in the Northeast where he lived at the time that he was killed, and then I had already plans to go to Mexico a few days later. So I got to meet lots of people that he was with when he was killed. And I was in New York City for his memorial, and we had a little memorial in St. Mark's Church, and had a sort of spontaneous squat party afterwards where we squatted a whole bunch of buildings, and the police were nowhere in sight, but we didn't stay. And the next day there was a smaller memorial garden in one of the gardens that he had been involved with in East Harlem, and we were there. It was raining, it was cold, it was the end of October, and there was like 8 of us there by mid-afternoon, and we had this pathetic little fire burning, and kind of more smoke than anything else, and just kind of competing against the rain, and we were all getting ready to go, but then somebody in one of the nearby skyscrapers there on 125th Street had called the fire department. So 3 fire trucks had showed up, and I thought it was 5, but I just met somebody else who was there, and she assured me there was only 3, so I'm sure she's right. There was 3 fire trucks showed up, and 2 of them quickly realized that they were not needed, and they left, and one of them stuck around, and after a few minutes, eventually these 5 guys, completely laden with their fire department gear, kind of got out of that truck and kind of moped their way towards our little pathetic fire, obviously not looking at us, hoping we weren't going to tease them, and the whole situation was ridiculous. We didn't tease them, we just watched, and they came and they put out the fire. They brought these huge hoses, and they doused the fire quite thoroughly with the hose, and then to our astonishment, they actually got out these long metal implements of destruction and started hacking at the ground and digging up coals and stuff like that. Then they got out that big hose again, and they drowned that fire with more water, and then they left. And so we were left with our little sort of swamp, and hanging around the swamp. And it was kind of exciting enough to stick around for another hour and a half, look at our footage of the fire being put out. It was actually pretty footage. And so then we were getting ready to leave again, finally, for real. And from out of the mud, the fire sprang back to life. And it was inexplicable, and I was instantaneously converted to paganism at that moment. Really, I was a cynical Marxist atheist just moments before. This neighborhood is blighted. That's what people say. Half the buildings are abandoned. Everything is gray. Half the kids have asthma because the sewage plant's nearby. And the mayor doesn't seem to care if we live or die. That's the situation. Now let me take you to the part, the center of this neighborhood, what you could call the heart, a vacant lot of broken glass. For years that's what it's been, but the neighbors got together, said this is where we will begin. We'll dig this dirt, plant a seed, Push aside the concrete, so the earth beneath is free. We'll plant a garden, grow some food to eat, and the sunflowers looking to the sky say, we reclaim this street. In one day we had accomplished what the mayor always said. He was trying to bring us through his clubs upon our heads. The neighborhood is clean, the dealer's gone away. We had good food to eat, place for the kids to play. We'll dig this dirt, plant the seed, push aside the concrete, so the earth beneath is free. We'll plant a garden, grow some food to eat, and the sunflowers looking to the sky say, we reclaim this street. Twice the city came here, said this is not our land. Twice the cops destroyed it, all the work of our own hands. Uprooted plants and broken tools lay scattered all around. But the next day the only thing you could see was fingers in the ground. We'll dig this dirt, plant a seed, push aside the concrete, so the earth beneath is free. We'll plant a garden, grow some food to eat, and the sunflowers looking to the sky say, we reclaim this street. We reclaim this street.